Game, really a group that really dove into the process, to the fundamentals, the work that we're looking for. Starting off this week, just stacking up 3 great days of practice. The coaches challenging guys, the guys challenging each other, and Sunday's about the players and putting them in position to have success. And they took advantage of that in different ways. And it was just a great picture of Panthers football, being able to run the ball, stopping the run, playing complementary football on third down, taking advantage of red zone opportunities, the whole thing. The coverage units, just flying around with great energy and chasing, which was just a carryover from a great week. So I just got to give props to the whole group of just continuing to trust this process. This is a great starting point for us to play our kind of football, and really excited to, get back home, get back to work, and have another great week. Yeah, it's just complimentary football. Just being able to make some of those third downs, allowing us to continue our drive so I can get into our actions. We had a couple of explosive plays, and when you just get a new set of downs, and you play efficiently that way, you're looking at, favorable third downs, other than a couple that, we got a couple sacks. We had a penalty that put us into a bad spot, but in general, we had some really favorable third down opportunities for us to convert, to get back out there so we can run it some more. And we can get those touches. The backs can get their groove, and Chuba can see the holes and press it. Miles can get his touches. And so the whole thing just revolves around that. And both sides, defensively and offensively, the story was third down, and we did a better job so we could play our kind of ball.
Dave, you mentioned the energy on special teams. It looked like there was energy in all 3 phases. Is that kind of what you thought? Was that part of the reason you made the change at quarterback, to see that sort of contagious energy across the board?
It really was just the whole group. And I can't put it on one player specifically because I don't want to slight all the guys who have been trying so hard in practice to set a standard. And we set that standard this past week. And last week we had 2 out of 3 practices that were up to standard, and 1 kind of waned. And just challenging the guys to trust this. Our football will get better. Our processes will get better as we engage that way. And so you just saw a group in all phases really engaged and focused from one play to the next, with that finish mentality.
If I could follow up real quickly, was there one throw from Andy today that sort of got, made you stop what you were doing and saying, that's what we're looking for?
Honestly, it's just what I expected out of him, and we practiced the things. The receivers were in the right spots for him, and he took advantage when they gave us favorable coverages to hit those plays, the early one to Tommy, in the first drive to get us down there for the first touchdown. My first opening drive touchdown in my career, by the way. So I was really excited about that. And then the throw to Thielen, just the timing and rhythm of it was fantastic. So, he just continued drives so we can get in that striking zone and take those shots when they're there. Honestly, I just felt like the whole group in general showed up ready. And this is a really serious and really focused group, and something that I've had to get used to, because I'm so like high energy and I want things to be a party all the time. And this group is just like, Coach, just tell us what you need. We'll do it. They're very matter of fact and focused that way. And I love that about them because they take pride in it. So.
Dave, you had a couple guys come off the field today, made some reference to things that were said this week by the media. I know you guys try to block that stuff out, but did you use any of that as fuel? Was anything said about the way your team was talked about this week?
It's all about us. We just focus on the things that we can control, which is our process, attacking each day, work Wednesday, turnover Thursday, focus Friday, and that's the message. Tell the truth Monday. We got to look at the film, clean up the things that we need to get better at, and celebrate the stuff that we did well, and then move on. We can't linger on these things. So really, it's just about us. They played great team defense in the run game. Guys being disciplined about where they were supposed to be to fit those. Backers played great. We set edges. We did all the things that are required of the run game. And then again, I'll go back to it. Can't put it all on the defense. We had 2 weeks where we struggled on third down. We were 3 and out, punting, and the defense is back on the field. And the war of attrition. That starts the cumulative effect, which you saw in favor of the Panthers today at the end of the game, where when we can sustain drives, we start pushing. We keep continuing to get those hidden yards and moving the line of scrimmage. So it flipped for us. So our defense was able to get out there fresh and just play football, and so it all fits in together as a unit. Yeah, it's just about taking advantage of his opportunities, and he had a couple of great ones today, and you can see, what he can do with the ball after the catch. Just making more than what's there, all the things that we saw, throughout camp, the things that I've seen in his career, and so I was just really excited to get him involved, in what we're doing, and he's the dynamic part of our offense.
Dave,
you mentioned first drive touchdown.
Yeah.
What does the first win mean to you?
Honestly, it's just the legitimizing the process, legitimizing the, because up until this point, until you actually find that success and see it work, it's just a bunch of talk. It's just a bunch of, speeches, and philosophy doesn't mean anything until you can feel it come to life. So it was really important for us to see that happen, carrying over from a great week of practice to the execution of the game. And really that's what that meant for me. Above all else, was just to be able to give these guys that pride and that sense that we have a great system here, and if we execute and we trust each other, we can be a good team. And we just need to stay focused on the process, and it just helps me sell that, when I get up in front of them, and I'm not just talking like, this is real, guys. These things came to life, and I'll be able to show it to them in film.
Dave, you had a 300-yard passer, a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver, some pancake blocks out there. Is that what a Dave Canales offense is supposed to look like?
That's a Panthers football. That's Panthers football, team football right there. And I get to show them that. And I get to show them how it all complements and plays off of each other. The run game, opening things up in the back half, making teams have to load the box and try to take your run away, and all of a sudden you got all this space. And that's the way it fits. Defensively, playing the run tough, forcing them into pass situations so we can have 3 sacks, we can have an interception, a couple really close ones. And then guys like Troy Hill, JC, Mike Jack punching the ball out, in different pass situations to create some incompletes and critical downs.
You talked about that being your first opening drive touchdown. Yeah. How does that set the tone for the rest of the game? How important was that to come out like that? It's
always important, and I try not to put too much weight on what happens early in the game, because as we all know, games can go different ways. We can't pass judgment on the outcome of the game based on a drive or based on a play. We have to have that, that mental discipline, whether it's a poor outcome or a positive outcome, to just move on to the next drive. But to your point, that gives guys the confidence that we have a great system. If we trust it and we all execute, we can make yards, we can continue drives, we can score touchdowns, and we can win games.
As a follow-up, how do you celebrate your first win as a head coach in the NFL?
With the boys, that locker room, it's what I live for. That's what it's all about. It's doing everything that I can to make sure that I'm putting them in the best position to be successful, and just to give it to them. Sunday's about these guys and about celebrating with each other, holding each other to their standard, and we'll echo it, and I'll drive that, and I'll, yell until my voice is hoarse throughout the week, but on Sundays, that's their day. And I love the way that they just played together and played that kind of ball on the field.
Dave, you talk a lot about the importance of pregame mechanics and routine and in-game mechanics and routine. How do you think Bryce handled that today, and how was how were those machinations?
It was the same. He had a great process of just being ready to play. He's always got to be ready to play, and I don't expect anything different there, So just taking that same approach and being ready, locked in and focused. So that was excellent.
And update. Just a real quick update on Thielen. He obviously didn't play the second.
Yeah, Thielen had a hamstring on the touchdown catch, finished the play. A beautiful play by those two, by Andy and Thielen. And the protection, always got to talk about the O-line whenever you can push the ball down the field. So the protection was great there. Let's see, Damian Lewis didn't finish the game. All these guys were checking on Jordan Fuller and Lonnie Johnson.
Yeah, Coach. What did you see leading up to this week in Andy that made you feel he would bring that calming demeanor over the offense that it seemed to have today?
Andy just operated and functioned in our system, got us to the right runs, threw to the first open guy, progressed when he had to, checked it down. He did a fantastic job of just playing efficiently, and then he made some explosive plays and found those opportunities down the field when they were available. And when they weren't, he got the ball out, and we just were able to play good, solid football.
And this is your first win, but if you going to smile for us at all, or?
Oh, I'm smiling inside. I'm absolutely beat. This has been an amazing week, but again, just a really heavy week. And just with all the factors, and just getting back to work and continuing to push to establish our culture in the process. So I'm thrilled. I'm so joyful. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dave, kind of on that note, your family got to be here today.
Yeah.
How special was it to have them here today?
Oh, it was amazing. My two brothers, Josh, Koba, he's Jacob, we call him Koba. Koba's wife, Drea, my sister-in-law, Boomy, all the kids. We're all there, a bunch of cousins. My mom and dad were there. My dad was right up underneath the 107 sign, so I could see exactly where he was at. And the black vest and the gray goatee was standing out up there, so I was able to wave at them, and it means a lot to be able to get this first win while they were here, so a really special moment.